Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a great day. I do apologize right now if I do sound a little tired in this video. It's because I am tired. I'm super exhausted because I've had a super crazy week at work. I've been working so many hours. It's been so fucking busy. So many people just not coming in. I don't know why. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about this whole like COVID thing because I am technically an essential worker, quote unquote. Big quotation marks around the whole essential part because I don't think working at a pizza place is essential at all. In fact, I would say that it's probably the opposite of that, because during a pandemic, you would hope that people would want to be healthier, not eating a shit ton of fast food. But I don't know, whatever. Apparently, I'm essential. Anyways, I want to talk about that, actually, the whole essential thing. As essential, again, quote unquote, quotation marks around that, as essential as I am, I don't feel that essential. if I'm being completely 100% honest, I don't think I'm that essential. I don't think anyone else really thinks I'm essential either. Like any of the people that I work with, I don't think anyone would call us essential workers, because no one treats us like essential workers. Okay, now of course I'm using this in a broad way. You know, obviously not every customer is the same, but a lot of them are like just this way, right? So I've been working at where I'm working for about 5 years now. So I have a lot of responsibility, probably more responsibilities than like anyone else other than the manager or assistant manager, because I've literally been working there the longest other than them. But so like I said, I have these special responsibilities, and one of the responsibilities for some reason is talking to customers when they're assholes. Okay, now a lot of people will say like technically it's not my job, and I guess like I'm just kind of being like told to do it because the managers don't want to do it, which like rightfully so. It fucking sucks, and they've had their fair share. That's the way I see it anyways. Like I can alleviate some of the stress from them off their shoulders, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way and they have to step in. But this is not one of those times. Okay, so we have these new like instructions when we deliver pizzas, that we have to put the pizza on the ground, like whole contactless delivery. If it's paid for, we put the pizza on the doorstep, ring the doorbell, knock on the door, whatever, walk away and wait for them to come out, right? But we have this one driver who I guess he wasn't doing that, or he was and just like people weren't realizing, or I don't know, maybe he was and then just whatever. We had this guy who called us back, and he starts yelling at one of the cashiers like right away. You know, he's yelling at her. He's like, oh, you guys fucking put my pizza on the ground. Like I didn't fucking ask for my pizza to be put on the ground. Like, why are you doing that? Blah blah blah. Fucking yelling at her, right? And she's like the 17-year-old girl. And I was standing in back talking to the manager and assistant manager, just kind of standing there talking to them, just shooting the shit, you know. And then I look up and I just see this cashier coming towards us. And she's bawling, you know, like her eyes are just crazy teared up, okay? And I'm like, oh my god, like what happened? And she's like, oh, this guy's being a fucking asshole. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's do this, okay? So I run up to the phone, get on the line, get on like line one, talk to the guy. I'm like, yo, what's the problem? And right away he just starts ripping at me. Now I'm a pretty like, I don't want to say like a tough guy, because I'm not like a big tough guy, you know, but I have thick skin, you know, so I can handle a lot of people saying a lot of stuff about me. And I'm on the phone with this guy, and he's just yelling at me about how, you know, like we put his pizza on the ground, blah blah blah. And this is like right at the beginning of the whole COVID thing, so I was kind of like not really sure what was going on, as much as everyone else was not sure what was going on. So when he started saying this, I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's our fault. Like we shouldn't have put the pizza on the ground, blah blah blah. But technically we should be doing that. That's exactly what we should be doing, but whatever. I didn't think that. So I told this guy, I was like, you know what, man, we'll send you another pizza. Like, don't worry about it. It's all good. You know, we'll send the pizza, we'll send the fucking garlic dip, like get over it. So we did. We made him another pizza, sent it out. And the driver gets there, it's a different driver, and he gets there, right? And he puts the pizza, and everyone knew that the cashier was crying, so everyone was kind of already like on edge and like upset about this. And he gets to the door, and he like, this driver has like been there plenty of times, so he kind of knows the guy, and he's giving him his pizza, and he's all cool and stuff, right? And then right as he's about to leave, the driver looks at him, he's like, hey man, like you gotta be like, you can't be like that with people. So then the fucking customer just starts cussing him out, right? He's like, oh, fuck you, like, get the fuck out of here, blah, blah, blah. Slams the door in his face. Forgot his garlic dip on the ground. So this driver literally picks up the garlic dip and he's like, fuck you, and chucks it at his house, right? The garlic dip explodes all over the wall of the house. And then he starts walking back to his car. The guy fucking comes out. He's like, hey, man, get back here. Like, you fucking threw that garlic dip on my house. Get back here, blah, blah, blah. He's like, nah, fuck you. There, he hops in his car and he drives off, and then he calls the restaurant and to complain about this driver who's throwing stuff at his house. And he says to me, he's like, yeah, man, your driver like threw my garlic dip into my house. He said into my house, right? And I'm like, what the, like, he threw it into your house? What? So I asked him, I'm like, he did what? He's like, he threw it in my house. And he's like, he threw it like into your house, like the door was open? He's like, no, he threw it like in it, like blew up on the wall. And I'm like, he threw it into your house and hit the wall? He's like, no, he threw it like at my house, like on my window. And I'm like, oh, like outside your house. Like, he threw it at the outside of your house. He's like, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, no, it wasn't. He's like, yeah, it was, like, blah, blah. I'm like, so I'm just kind of like trying to piss him off now, right? Because no one really likes this guy. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. Fine, okay, we'll send you another fucking garlic dip then. I hang up the phone. We never send him another garlic dip. Don't deserve a garlic dip. You wanna act like that. You don't deserve a fucking garlic dip. Alright, here's another one, okay? This one I think is actually even... I don't know. I don't think it's funnier than the other one, but it's definitely like... It's like pretty close. So, like I said, you know, we're supposed to do this whole contactless delivery thing where we drop off the pizza at the front door, knock on the door or ring the doorbell or whatever, and then leave, right? So this lady, she calls us up, or you can place orders online, right? So she placed an order online that says... like it was for a certain time. It was like 7:30 or something, right? So our driver drops off the pizza at 7:30. I don't know if it's actually 7:30, like on the dot. It could have been a little bit later. It could have been a little bit earlier. I think it was later, honestly, probably like 15 minutes later or something. But he drops it off on the front porch, knocks on the door, and goes back to his car. Now this guy, like I said, he's kind of dumb. It's the same guy as the last story, and he just drives off. He didn't wait for her to come out, which kind of like, okay, makes us kind of bug out a little bit, but whatever. So anyway, so she calls back like 2 hours later saying like, yo guys, I still haven't got my pizza. And by this time, like, that other driver was gone, right? Okay, so he's gone. He went home. He was done. So we're like, okay, we'll send out another pizza. Like, sorry about that. So we sent out another pizza. So we send it out right away. Get one like whipped up. Send it out, fucking zippy fast. And the driver gets there, the new driver, and he walks up to the door and he realizes that the other pizza is on the ground. Okay, now I forgot to mention prior to this. When we were on the phone with her and she was complaining, we said, okay, ma'am, we'll give you this pizza for free. And we'll credit your next account or your next order for like 25%, you know, for the inconvenience. So she's getting her free pizza and a discount on her next order. So good, you know, nice. So he goes, so like I said, the driver goes up and he realizes, oh shit, the pizza's on the ground. As soon as we hear about the pizza being on the ground, it was there, like we dropped it off on time, you know. As soon as we heard that, we're like, okay, well, we're taking away her discount. We'll give her the pizza for free, but we're taking the discount. So no more discount, okay? And then the next week, she calls in to place her order. Oh, sorry. And like I said, this was literally 2 hours after the first guy dropped off the pizza. Okay, so the pizza's been sitting there for 2 hours on her front porch. Okay. So a week passes, and she calls up again, and she calls to order. And this, literally, her calling, like this day, was right after the day that happened last story. So the same cashier that cried in the last story is the same one that picked up the phone. Okay, I've never seen this girl cry, okay, ever. But this woman made her cry, okay? Again, like this is the second time she's cried in 2 days. And I'm like sitting in back and I see her once again coming over, crying, tears on her face. And I was like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. This time I was like really mad. Okay, I was pretty mad the last time, but this time I was really mad. Okay, so I go up, pick up the phone, and I'm like, all right, what's the problem? And she recites the whole problem to me. And then it kind of clicks. I'm like, oh shit, this is the same lady as last, like that. Like, this is the lady from last week. So, like, I kind of realized that. I was like, oh, shit. I remember the whole story. So, she's kind of telling me everything. She's like, yeah, you guys dropped off my pizza 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. And then I had to wait 2 hours. I'm like, okay, ma'am, listen, here's the deal. we dropped off your pizza the day, or like the time that we were supposed to drop it off, okay? If our driver knocked and you didn't come answer, that's not our fault. And I said this to her, right? Because I'm mad. Like, at this point, I'm pissed off. Like, you can't keep calling. Like, you can't call places and make people cry just to get you on. I get that you think that we, like, did you dirty for some reason. But we didn't, okay? We did not purposely fuck up your order. We didn't even fuck up the order. Like, there was literally nothing wrong. She was just too, like, dense to fucking look out the front door, okay? So, like I said, so she's bitching at me over the phone. She's like, oh, you guys, you didn't bring my pizza in time, blah, blah, blah. It took 2 hours to get the pizza here. Like, blah, blah, blah. You ruined my night. And I was like, okay, ma'am, I understand. You had plans to eat dinner at a certain time, but we brought you the pizza maybe a couple minutes late. We knocked on the door. You didn't come out and answer the door, okay? Like, in those 2 hours, not once did you think, oh, let me look outside to see if maybe they did drop it off. And I'm saying this to her, and I'm trying to tell her, I'm like, ma'am, like, this is not our fault. It's not, like, we tried, we did our job, we did our end of the bargain. Like, you're getting mad at us for nothing. You're yelling at this girl, and I told her, like, you made this girl cry because you're not getting what you want, okay? So I told her right there, I'm like, ma'am, I'm not giving you a free pizza, okay? We gave you your pizza on time last week, albeit maybe a couple minutes late. We gave you the free pizza last week. We are not giving you more free pizza this week, okay? And then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna call head office, okay? Because we're like one little small like pizza place, and there's like 50 under the same name. So there's like a head office. So she's like, I'm gonna call head office, and we're like, okay, fine. So she asked me for my name. She's like, what's your name? My manager told me to always, if ever someone asks, give them his name, okay? So that's what I did. I said his first name, and then she's like, no, your full name. And I was like, okay. So I gave her my full name, and then she like calls head office. I don't know if she actually did, or I don't know if she did call head office, and then head office like pretty much told her like, hey bitch, that's not their fault, because we never got anything. Like, no one ever called us back, you know what I mean? So I think she was just like, I don't know, like, I think head office kind of knew, and usually they don't. Usually they're kind of assholes about everything, but I think in this time they came in pretty clutch. All right, I've got one last story, and I know it's been a long video. It's a little bit longer than usual, but guys, this is a good one. This one I think is kind of less funny and more like just makes you think like, wow, you guys really do go through a lot of shit, eh? So here's what happened, okay? Basically, because of this whole COVID thing, we're giving out a discount to the hospital workers, which includes everyone, not just like doctors and nurses, like everyone, like receptionists, janitors, like if you work at a hospital, you have a 15% discount off your order, okay? The only thing is that we're not allowed to give this discount if there's other discounts already like in place, right? So if you get like a deal, like we have a couple deals. If you get one of those deals, you can't use the discount on the deal, which makes sense because most deals anyways are only like 10% maybe, right? So like there's not, like, you don't get a lot out of the deals, but it makes people think they do. So anyway, so this guy calls and he's placing his order. It was a pretty big order too, and he was like asking me, he's like, yeah man, I have this code, can I get the discount? I'm like, yeah man, for sure. And at this point I didn't realize that you couldn't give them more than one discount at a time. So he's like asking me, he's like, all right man, like I work at a hospital, can I get like the discount? I was like, yep, 15% right here, you're welcome. Like, thank you, sir. You're doing us a great service. And I really believe that. I really believe that doctors and nurses and everyone, I think everyone should be getting a discount because, yeah, they are technically like the front line. As much as like I'm quote unquote on the front line or quote unquote essential, I'm not really. I'm not like head first going into fucking COVID central every day. So I'm not gonna try and like say that I am. Of course, like it is a risk for me to be at work because you never know who's coming in to the restaurant, but it's not nearly as bad as they have it. So like I agree, like you guys should get a discount, right? But the discount wasn't good enough for this guy, 15%. So he orders what he wanted was like this meal deal that we have, it's like a big like family thing. So it comes like a bunch of stuff, and it's like a bunch of stuff which is probably like $50 for like 40, okay? And then he got a bunch of other stuff with it. And he's like, come on, man, like, can you give me as many like discounts, like as much as possible? Like, you know what, man, like I said, I'll try and do the best I can for you. So I'm trying to get all these discounts in, and then finally I got it as low as I could. I think like in total he should have spent like $93. He ended up getting it for like 80, which is like $13 off, which is still pretty good. And I go in back, and I print the order, and like I said, this guy was like really like pushy about his deals. Like he really wanted those deals. So I was kind of like getting sick and tired of talking to him anyways. And I go in back, and the assistant manager's there, and he's like, yeah, like we can't do this. We can't like give you like a bunch of deals like this. I was like, sir, please don't make me talk to him again. I don't want to, you know, just please. I'm telling, sir, please. I don't want to fucking talk to this guy. But nope, it was unavoidable. I had to talk to him. So I get on the phone with him, and I say, hey man, I know like I gave you this total already, but we can't actually do that. We can't give you more than one discount. And as soon as I said we can't give him more than one discount, he starts flipping on me. Okay, this guy, I'm like, he's flipping on me, like he's yelling at me, he's cursing at me. I'm on the phone just sitting there, and like I said previously, I got pretty thick skin. Like when it comes to customers yelling and saying stuff to me, I'm usually pretty good. Like I'll get mad, but it's not gonna like actually like offend me. It's just kind of like, wow, you have the audacity to say that to someone who's making your food. So I'll just kind of get like a little annoyed by it. I won't like actually like get like offended though, right? So anyways, so this guy is like yelling at me, cursing at me, so I'm kind of getting annoyed. And then in the end, I just tell the guy, I'm like, dude, you're not getting the fucking deal, okay? I didn't say like the F word there, but I was like, you're not getting the food for this price, okay? I'm sorry, but you're not. And then he's like, I want to talk to the manager. I'm like, all right, like it never goes better this way, right? So I'm like, yo, like you're gonna have to talk to this guy. So he comes over and he gets on the phone. He starts talking to the guy, and he immediately, he doesn't even have time to talk. He's just immediately getting bombarded with like this guy yelling at him, right? Like that's the thing, like we can't help you if you don't let us talk. If you don't let us try to explain something to you, you're never gonna understand it, and you're never gonna like listen to us. So it's always just gonna end up with you being pissed off. So let us talk, okay? And he can't get a single word in. And then finally he kind of like snaps. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this guy's got a pretty bad temper, but he's usually pretty good when it comes to customers. But when a customer like gets all up on him, you know, like getting up in his face, like yelling at him, calling him stuff, like he will snap eventually. And when he does, it's kind of scary, but he did a really good job, I think. So he kind of is like, you know what, listen, man, I get that you're an essential worker, you know, you're on the front line, you have to work, blah blah blah, but you are not. We are also working. A lot of you guys don't realize we're also working during all this, right? So we're just as much of a frontline essential worker as anyone else. So he says this to the guy. He's like, you know what, man, I know you're working. I know you're like, you have to work around all these people. Guess what? So do we. You know, we are also putting ourselves like on the front line when it comes to COVID. And then the guy like wouldn't have it. And so he's like, you know what, man? He's like, stop. You know what, man? You can take the food for the price originally told to you, okay? And then I guess he starts saying like, oh, like you're not happy about it, blah blah, like you're just saying that because like blah blah blah, because I'm yelling at you. And then he's like, no sir, I'm not saying that just because I'm mad. I'm saying it because, you know, it's the total we gave you, blah blah blah. But the guy kept going on. He's like, no, you're only saying that, blah blah blah. So he's like, you're getting it for this price, and then he just hung up. So whatever. So we started making the order. Took us about 25 minutes later, we get a call from this guy again. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Pick up the phone, and this guy apologizes. He's like, hey man, like I know, like I wanted to apologize for my behavior earlier, blah blah blah. Like, first of all, fuck you. Like, as nice as it is that you're calling back and apologizing, I don't care. You know, the damage has been done. All right, like you've already cussed us out, told us like how shitty we are of people. And I can't believe I forgot to mention, this is literally the funniest part, is the guy says to manager, he's like, you know what, like places in Ottawa, like places in the city are sending us fucking food for free, blah blah, you guys are giving us a shitty deal. And then my boss literally says to him, he's like, and then order from the city. Like, bro, what a savage, okay? But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. So he says, he's apologizing, and he's like, yeah man, like, you know, I know you guys are probably working hard, like I'm sorry to put this on you, blah blah blah. And like at this point, like he's already getting the deals, like he's already getting all the fucking discounts in the world. But he was like, I don't know, I think his wife came in and was like, are you fucking stupid? Like, call them back and apologize, you dink. So I think that's what happens. Kind of like little wife puppeteering. Yeah, so that was funny. I think the first two stories, honestly, were funnier. I think this one kind of just makes you think, like we do go through a lot of abuse. Like it's always said, like, oh, fast food, like you take so much shit. Like, yeah, we do take so much shit. That's the thing. Like, we're at the bottom of the food chain, you know. Like, everyone comes before us. All right, but it doesn't mean that you have to sit there and shit on us every time something goes wrong. All right, because it's not helping anyone. Like, yeah, sure, you're getting your pizza for free, or yeah, sure, you're getting to yell at us because it makes you feel better. But it's just, there's no need for that. You could get, if chances are, if you come in and you say, hey man, there's something wrong with my pizza, I will literally say, you know what, sir, fine, here's a discount, or here, we'll remake the pizza for you on the spot. And usually they'll obviously, like, they'll choose one of the two answers, but other people will say, like, no, I want my pizza free, no, I want it free, no, I want it free, no, I want it free. And you're like, okay, we're trying to, like, work with you here, and you're just not giving us a chance. So anyways, so it comes down to this whole thing, like, yeah, we're at the bottom. Doesn't mean we need to be treated like we're at the bottom. Like, everyone comes first, but at the same time, like, there is still us, and you have to think about that sometimes. Like, you don't have to treat us like that. You do. I don't know why. I would never talk to someone like that. I think if I had a problem with something, I would bring it to attention, but I don't think I would yell at you like that. Or like if I had like takeout food, I go somewhere, pick up food, go home. If I get home and I'm like, oh shit, like they don't have, they didn't give me like this, I'll be like, okay, fuck it. If it's like something small, or I'll come back in and be like, hey man, like, you gave us our food, but you forgot this. Okay, and like that, like that's tolerable. Like if someone said that to me, I'd be like, you know what, sir, sorry, we'll get that for you right on the way. No, not these people. These people, like, they will just rip at us, and it really sucks because we're trying our best. We're not purposely like fucking with you or something. Like we are trying our best to kind of do stuff for you. There's a lot of exterior factors that play a part in how well your food is like coming to you. Sometimes it gets really busy, sometimes people don't come in, sometimes it's just bad timing, but we're trying our best, and it's not, you yelling at us to the point where cashiers are crying is not gonna get anyone anywhere. Okay, it's just gonna cause more shit for no reason. So I just wanted to kind of get that point across. If you guys enjoyed this video, you want to see more stuff like this, where I just kind of like talk about stupid stuff like this. I know my last video, this is what I did. It was just kind of me telling a story about my life, which is kind of fun, actually. I really like this, like just kind of talking to you guys, like saying stuff to you guys. I think it's a lot of fun. So if you guys want to see more stuff like this, please do let me know. But I'm gonna have to end the video here, guys. It's a very long one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, watched through the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I can say. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, your grandma. She's not technically your family, so I'm not gonna put it in another same category, but tell everyone. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.